Close your eyes, take a slow breath, and picture a battered long box tucked beneath someone's arm on a chilly Saturday morning. The kind of ritual pilgrimage that once powered comic book culture. The smell of ink and newsprint, the hushed debate about who would beat whom in an alleyway showdown. Those moments felt eternal, yet lately a darker headline follows every discussion. Comics are dying, sales charts sag, younger readers scroll past anything printed on paper, and even lifelong fans say the icons they love have lost their spark. Here at the Invincible Archives, we see a richer, more hopeful story, one in which comics aren't withering so much as molting, shedding old skin to reveal fresher, riskier colors. Tonight we'll trace that transformation, explore how ballooning continuity turned newcomers away, how Hollywood's spotlight burned hot and hollow, and how bold new universes, from Marvel's revitalized Ultimate line to Skybound's Energon experiment, are rewriting the rules. By the end, you'll understand why the medium's next chapter might be its most exciting yet. The numbers behind the panic are stark. 1991's X-Men #1 moved a jaw-dropping 8.2 million copies. 3 decades later, a book that clears 500,000 units is hailed as a miracle. Blame piles up everywhere. Social media, streaming, soaring cover prices. The roots run deeper. Over 80 years, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, the Hulk, and countless others have been killed, resurrected, replaced, reset, and multiversed into confusion. If you're 12 in 2025 and you want to read Spider-Man, where do you even start? The first issue landed in 1962. Since then, half a dozen volume resets, 2 clones, 1 devil bargain, and events that literally erased his marriage. For newcomers, that is a barrier taller than Mount Viltrum. Enter the Marvel Cinematic Universe in 2008. Overnight, Iron Man rockets from comic shop B-lister to global household name. 1 billion fans learned the word Thanos before they learned Kirby, but box office billions rarely translate back to monthly floppies. Movies distill dense lore into 2-hour crowd pleasers. Comics still ask you to show up every Wednesday, keep track of 4 crossover tie-ins, and memorize 3 decades of retcons. Casual viewers shrug, cue the next episode on Disney Plus, and never touch the source material. Hollywood influence soon turned reactive. When Kamala Khan's live-action debut needed a mutant twist, Marvel Comics obliged by killing her off and resurrecting her with an X gene, all within 1 summer. The Guardians of the Galaxy roster moviegoers adore? It didn't exist in print until after the film's release. Every Batman costume redesign seems timed for a trailer drop. Each stunt pleases studio marketers, yet risks alienating core readers who came for stories, not synergy. Shop closures multiplied, pundits declared a death spiral, and fans braced for the end. But like every great hero arc, breakdown came before breakthrough. Faced with fatigue from both page and screen, publishers tried something radical, clean slates wearing familiar skins. Marvel reached back to a solution that had once saved them. In 2000, Ultimate Spider-Man stripped 60 years of baggage, recast Peter Parker as a 15-year-old navigating cell phones in modern slang, and invited readers to hop aboard guilt-free. That line flourished for 15 years before collapsing under its own crossover weight. Then, in 2024, Marvel rebooted the concept again, except writer Jonathan Hickman aged Peter up. Now he's a dad balancing heroism and family, mirroring fans who grew alongside him. Ultimate Spider-Man instantly became Marvel's top seller, month after month. Veterans felt validated at last, while first-time readers could start at issue 1 without feeling lost. Across town, DC Comics unveiled the Absolute Universe. Imagine a cosmos where Bruce Wayne's parents never die, where Wonder Woman is forged in Hellfire, and where Clark Kent arrives on Earth already an exiled adult god. By severing ties to 85 years of precedent, DC invited fresh eyes and freed veteran creators to push boundaries without wrecking legacy canon. Meanwhile, Skybound, the Image imprint that gave us Invincible and The Walking Dead, fused Transformers and G.I. Joe into the Energon universe. With superstar writers guiding the mayhem, each death sticks, every twist matters, and monthly sales rival Marvel's bestsellers. Crucially, each series began at Chapter 1. You don't need to memorize 30 seasons of cartoons to understand the stakes. Readers responded with genuine shock when a hero's head was crushed on a splash page because they believed it might actually stay crushed. Independent creativity surged too. Image's Ghost Machine imprint and upstart DeSaltry launched magazine-sized comics boasting extended page counts and zero editorial handcuffs. Hear new worlds sprout without the weight of decades-old canon. Limited series promise endings. High stakes feel real. Collectors hunt first printings. Digital platforms record subscription spikes. Amazon's trade paperback charts fill with new IP. Why does all of this matter? Because longtime readers know death in mainstream continuity is more a delay than a destination. Superman's tomb lasted 12 months. Captain America stayed frozen less time than a pint of ice cream. Audiences learn to yawn at funeral issues. These rebooted universes restore mortality's meaning. Ultimate Peter loses an ally by issue 4. No cosmic do-over. Energon's first scene kills a beloved Autobot, setting a tone of dread. Absolute Batman bleeds, bruises, and pays consequences unseen in his flagship title for decades. The tension many of us felt reading Invincible, where Nolan's betrayal carved scars that never fully healed, now permeates Marvel and DC's most adventurous experiments. Skeptics ask if this is merely buying time before continuity creep sets in again. Maybe. Given enough years, Ultimate Peter will rack up crossover events, Absolute Superman will face his own crises, and the Energon universe will spawn labyrinthine lore. But that inevitability doesn't dilute the current thrill. Think of comics like seasons of a great show. The Walking Dead burned brightest in its early arcs. Game of Thrones shone before wobbling. We still cherish those peaks. Comics inhabit a similar season 2 right now. Massive stakes, tight scripts, wild frontier energy. Our role as readers is to dive in while the ink is still wet and possibilities raw. Publishers have also learned practical lessons. Limited seasons work. Ending a series before it implodes keeps it evergreen. Digital binge readers love guided view apps. Thick trade collections serve as gateways when monthly floppies feel archaic. If the industry remembers these lessons, future soft reboots may feel like scheduled maintenance rather than catastrophic collapse. We must pause here to honor Invincible's role. Robert Kirkman launched Mark Grayson's saga in 2003 precisely because he feared Marvel and DC complacency. By choosing to end the series at issue 144 instead of flogging it forever, he proved that finishing a story can elevate it to classic status. Skybound's current success with the Energon universe is no accident. They drew from Invincible's blueprint, character first, plotted endgame, real consequences. Marvel's new Ultimate line and DC's Absolute World signal they are finally listening. Hickman already maps Ultimate Spider-Man toward a finite conclusion. DC editors promise tight trilogies within Absolute arcs. Indie teams like Ghost Machine announced their finales at launch. Invincible's DNA flows through these innovations, giving our channel's bedtime lore a direct connection to the industry's freshest experiments. Beyond narrative strategy, new technologies are reshaping comics' reach. Panel by panel scrolling on Webtoon, guided view on Kindle, subtle motion comic effects with ambient audio. These formats hook audiences raised on vertical video feeds and looping GIFs. Crowdfunding platforms turn fans into patrons, bypassing gatekeepers. Kickstarter phenomena such as BRZRKR demonstrate readers will bankroll prestige projects directly. Recommendation algorithms whisper, if you loved Invincible, try Radiant Black, reducing guesswork and boosting niche gems. And when a slim trade sells out overnight, animation studios call sooner, with fewer lawyers blocking faithful adaptations. Everything hinges on lowering the doorframe and widening the welcome mat. Publishers must keep launching crisp entry points, nurturing diverse voices, and embracing endings as strengths. If they do, the obituary headlines crumble. Sales volume will never regain the wild hologram cover hysteria of the 90s, but raw unit count was never the true measure of cultural vitality. Story relevance, reader passion, and creative risk, that is the lifeblood of the medium. Right now, those arteries pulse stronger than any doom and gloom article admits. A kid discovering Ultimate Spider-Man today will soon hunt for the original series omnibus, then chase back issues through virtual flea markets. A fan floored by Optimus Prime's sacrifice in the Energon universe will binge classic Sunbow episodes and dig for lost Marvel issues from the 80s. Viewers stunned by Omni-Man's first punch will marathon our lullaby-length lore videos and order the brick-sized compendium. Curiosity cascades, and that cascade is how mediums survive. So are comics truly on life support? Hardly. They're in physical therapy, rebuilding stronger habits, abandoning lazy resets, embracing bold experiments. Tonight, whether you're dozing off to the gentle hum of this narration or jotting a pull list for Wednesday's visit to your local shop, remember this. The death of comics has been predicted since the golden age tarnished into silver. Yet here we are, still turning pages, digital or printed, glossy or yellowed with time, chasing the next gasp-worthy panel. As long as creators dare to press the reset button with purpose and readers stay hungry for new mythologies, comics will never flatline. They will keep evolving, molting, not dying, and the Invincible archives will be right here, chronicling every extraordinary stage. Sleep easy, knowing the medium we love is very much alive, its heart beating louder than ever, and its future bright enough to light even the darkest comic shop aisles.